Right. Hello, everyone. This is Dr. John Shea again. Anyway, it is basically Monday night, almost midnight. And this Bobcat fire has been continuing to raise a lot of anxiety and stress for a lot of people. Everybody's getting ready with their evacuations, with the warnings. We just don't know because it's hard to say what's going on. We just see that the fires are coming. It's there. They talk about it, and it's hard to understand the scale of this and how far is it and how fast will this travel. And I have to say, I'm not here to say that to be just to feel secure about things, although some people have said that they feel better after they've listened to my videos, but I'm not here to try to give you any false sense of hope and put yourselves in danger. So, but I want to just show you just to be informed about what's going on. And so that video was just showing from a camera from Mount Harvard for the past 6 hours. I was just running that. I'm going to go back to that again. But what we are seeing is right now, the fire is moving westward and it's getting towards Mount Harvard. Mount Wilson's right above it. It's just right up here. This is the pin drop right that's dropped there is to mark Mount Harvard. Yesterday I said Howard and accidentally a few times, but anyway, it's Harvard. And so we're going to look at this here and we can kind of see again how it's happening here, where everything is going. And the surface fields we see is the purple and is the timber that likes to burn. And we can see where the fire has moved up in this direction towards this purple area, kind of like what we've been discussing and predicting, that the fire wants to follow the path of the richest fuels. And right here above Kinaloa Mesa and Sierra Madre, and even Altadena, we have this area where there's less timber. It looks like it's more chaparral, a little bit of timber. And when we look at historical fires, we do know that there used to be a fire in that area. If I make sure I extend it back to 1993, and we can see that there used to be a fire there. And so that'll be important to note, because as I zoom in on that a little bit more, we can kind of see that where this is and where that covers. And I'm going to show you that on this area here, that ridge, Mount Wilson, Mount Harvard is this little dot right here. And that ridge where we saw the fire that used to be is right here. It's following this ridge here. And when we zoom in on that, I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. This area used to have a fire in 1993. And the fuel, you can tell the ground based on this satellite, this aerial picture, it's a few small chaparral, these little bushes, and then some bare ground. If you live near the area, you look up in the hills and you can kind of see these bare areas of dirt or sand, gravel, and then you see these little bushes. And so, you know, that can burn, but when you look at that and you compare it to, we look up here towards Mount Harvard, right here, and the video showed this ridge here and the fire burning there. Look at this fuel here. Look at how dense this is. So right now the fire has been burning through this stuff. A lot of density here. This is different. These are more like trees, not those little bushes. There's some bare areas, there's some trails here. And what we do know is that along this area, the firefighters can access this. They've sent people up to Mount Wilson. They're trying to create a defense line along these trails, as well as dropping Phos-Chek and water along these areas. There's some Phos-Chek along this ridge. I'm going to show that to you again here really quick. When you watch this video, this is that little ridge from Mount Harvard and little trail going out. And you look at this red color here, and you see some airplanes pop up there. And we've gone to the nighttime. I'm gonna back it up again. That red there is the Phos-Chek. That's basically fire retardant. You see a little flash of red. The airplanes are dropping it along this area, and the fire's moving up the hillside there on all this dense fuel and cover. You see trees here, and the fire's kind of moving up to that ridge. Now the camera here starts to do something funny. Hopefully it's not because the fires have got to it, but it is remotely controlled and they can change the direction of it. So we kind of lose the picture there. We don't know why or what happened, but that's leading it right up until almost midnight. And again, that's the camera from here looking this way. That's this camera here at Mount Harvard looking across this ridge. I'm going to go 3D here because what we don't realize is how steep this terrain is. I mean, this is, three-dimensionally, this is very sharp. So the fire we saw there, here's Mount Harvard. It was looking this way across this ridge, and we saw the fire coming up this side here, up to this little trail, and they had dropped Phos-Chek, which is the fire retardant, along this side here, along this. So the fire's coming up there and it's going to slow it down. Of course, there's fuel on this side as well, and if it jumps over that, it'll continue over. Now, they could always drop that Phos-Chek and do other things along this ridge, because at this point, a fire had already burned this side of the mountain in the Kinaloa fire of 1993. And this is where we showed there was a lot less fuel. So if you add Phos-Chek to that, then you have a less chance of that, even less chance burning. Again, this is just my observations. I don't know exactly what they're about to do, but we are seeing a lot of plane aerial activity. We do know that the crews are out there and they're putting a lot of work towards this. And as you go down this hill, it's still a significant hill that it needs to come down to get to these communities of Sierra Madre, Kinaloa Mesa. So you see that. Just wanted to make sure you understood where it is. And if you live in Sierra Madre, around here, here's Baldwin right here in the middle. My mouse right here, Baldwin is here, and Santa Anita's over here on the right side, but Baldwin's up here. And last night, we saw something north of that was a glow, and it's probably the fire that was here that was leading up towards Mount Harvard. Okay, and then last thing I was going to show was Tuesday to Sunday to Monday today. And we know back on Tuesday, 2 days after this fire started here, it quickly spread there. It was following this path of the timber and the richer fuels rather than the green areas of grasses. It's extended more as of Sunday. It's coming up, and then Monday today, it's this purple here. It's really pushing into that, and so now it's starting to really go into it. So the crews are there. They're trying to stop it from getting past Mount Wilson, and I've had somebody comment maybe at like 40 to 80 personnel up there, just really trying to fight this. I don't know if they're going to set backfires or just put fire retardant, those type of things. So we'll hopefully keep that protected. We do know that there's this area of an old fire in this area, which we are hoping may be somewhat protective for the Kinaloa Mesa, North Pasadena, that's Altadena, Kinaloa Mesa, and then Sierra Madre. Sierra Madre, they have this park here, and it's mostly grass. So this is probably going to be easier to protect, to prevent that fire from passing through this all the way into Sierra Madre. I know they're starting to evacuate north of Grandview here, these homes here, and that's wise because this is getting close, but they should be able to slow it down here, even if it gets into this area, because this is mainly chaparral and less of that purple timber. Now over here, we do need to still, I don't want to forget about all of you who are maybe further over by Bradbury and Duarte, because it is getting to this Duarte Wilderness Preserve, and it is trying to push into that. So we see this little cluster moving that direction. And let's see, I'm going to just look at that, what that fuel looks like there. Okay, so yeah, it's pushing down into this area here, and we'll see what happens. So it could, but it's maybe not as easy to burn through this as it is to burn through this purple area. And it, again, all of this is also influenced by what the firefighters are doing and the aerial aircraft are dropping Phos-Chek and other water things to slow this down. So this is scary. It's moving this way. It's definitely hanging literally kind of over our heads right now. And air quality, surprisingly, yesterday and today has been a lot better. And that's because there have been winds that have not been blowing the smoke over us. It's kind of, actually, it seems like it's blowing in a northerly direction, but we have to kind of look. You can use the app like this app Windy, and you can check the wind at surface level up to 750 meters above. You see the little red dots moving. This actually shows that at 750 meters above the surface, it's moving towards the west. so blowing it west. But at the surface, we barely see any movement. There's little dots that kind of fade in and out. Same thing. It looks like it's kind of moving westward or south towards the southwest. So yeah, it's progressing. It's getting close. You know, this is the ridge that was protecting the fires. Right up to this ridge, there's Phos-Chek along there. Once it goes down, it has to go down into this canyon here. It's up here now. It's got to burn all the way down into this area, up and down, then back up here. Finally, it'll get to the top of this ridge here. Then it'll be very visible from the Sierra Madre, Kinaloa Mesa side, Pasadena side, and then it can start moving down. But again, this area has already burned before, and as we saw, the fuel there is not as dense as it is up here by Mount Harvard and Mount Wilson. So, you know, that's what's going on there, Phos-Chek, and the fire's moving up. This is earlier today, and then as we saw into the evening, it's reaching right up to that ridge. All right, so that's it for tonight, and hope you guys are staying safe, stay well, and just be ready. All right, God bless.